Welcome to the Four Corners series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 11th of May 1931. Now 1931 is quite an interesting year because this is the year that the effects of the 1929 crash really start to bite in the Western world as deflationary pressures build, causing the crash in prices, especially for crops, which means that farmers start to lose money and go bankrupt. From the point of view of our small community here, the USSR had effectively broken most international trading ties by now. Therefore, they were reasonably insulated from the effects of the Great Depression. But conversely, what is running across the country at the moment is the purges against the wealthy peasants and the other people that oppose Stalin's rule. And of course, there's also a strong purge now running against the religious authorities, which is having a very dramatic effect on the overall culture of Russia at this time. Now, before we get into the actual gameplay, as usual, a big thank you for your comments and feedback. You guys, as usual, give me a lot to think about. Now, I did get quite an extensive comment about healthcare, and one of the problems I found with healthcare, if we can get it up, is that generally the healthcare isn't too bad here, but what seems to be a problem is because the population is too small, because you see the population is just under 3,000, it's really difficult to get enough staff in here to man all the ambulances because the health situation in Titusville has been pretty low. And another problem I found, I don't know if I can find an example of it. If we can find, most of the ambulances are out. So see if we can actually find, oh no, he's hiding from me just there. Right, so if we can get this guy hooked up and what I'll try and illustrate this. We're just going to let the game, we're just going to go fast, turn that off, of course. And what seems to happen is that what you'll find is that we'll just hook him up like this, is that these ambulances often get stuck behind slow moving vehicles like this. You can see the speed drops right down, and that can get particularly bad in the winter because you can see he's literally come in, gone straight back out again. And what you'll see, he's stuck behind here. Now, when winter comes, because he's probably going to New Hope, see, and what that means is that what can happen is by the time this vehicle here, you can see the security police are a lot more aggressive, but these ambulances seem to get stuck, and he's actually going to over here. And there's a very real possibility that what will happen is that this ambulance will give up because he'll time out because of this very slow moving traffic. And that kind of leads me into another comment somebody said about using more wagons to move things around, and you see he's just given up. And what that means is that the people that were suffering in here either died or suffered from sickness, and that is one of the problems we're getting. Some goods are missing. It's electronics. Let's just see what's the food situation here. The food situation is okay, and part of the solution to that, somebody suggested, was building more clinics, but unless we got more people to man those clinics, there's not much point. Now, the next thing somebody mentioned about was building this university. They were saying that there's adequate staff in here. They're not actually coming into here, and that is correct, but what I plan to do is expand Titusville. So I took the opportunity to build this, that this might be a bit more efficient. What that will mean is that once these fields are gone, we can expand Titusville this way. There's possibly in the long term, depending on the situation, we may eventually join Titusville and New Hope together into a single city. So that's a possible option. Now, staffing is a real problem, which is going to restrict our options over here. But simply because we need to get staff up to here, but we're not getting that many people in here. And what I've done is I put some more buildings here, so we're gonna have to try and expand this area here. It's going to be a bit of a problem because you can see here he's picked up one worker, which isn't exactly going to drive our coal-fired power plant here. Now, somebody did post a comment that they but related to something they picked up on the forums to do with loyalty. Now, my overall loyalty is back down to 29%. It did get up all the way up to 31%, but one thing I have seemed to have noticed is that whenever you seem to load the game in, the loyalty seems to drop a little bit. But one thing I have done is I've kind of done a little bit of a statistical run through here. And what I've tended to find is that if you add up all the loyalties in all the buildings, I know it's a bit tedious, but what seems to be is that you quite often get a higher loyalty than what's there. Because if you think about it, most of the buildings over here are above 29%. So what's dragging this down is this over here. And I do wonder whether, well, we got, and plus we only got a new building like this, the 10%. So I'm starting to feel that obsessing about this overall one for your population isn't particularly that good. I think what you've got to do is concentrate on the loyalty in specific areas, because the other thing I suspect is that if we can find the orphanage, is that when the game is calculating the loyalty, they also add in all these very low loyalties from the children, which then brings this one down. But of course, when you look at the individual buildings here, this is the loyalty of the people living in these buildings, which is often the workers. The other one is that somebody posted in the Steam forums that if you can get a fully staffed radio station, you can get quite a big impact. And what they suggested is that increase this to 70%. And we got 73%, but I think at the moment we don't have the influence to be able to change that going forward. So I think we're just going to have to land that. And the other one is personal vehicles. Now, personal vehicles kind of feeds back into what I was saying about having the ambulances here, especially if you've got little horses like this, because they're just creating lots and lots of extra traffic. And of course, the other thing also is that as your economy gets bigger, you're going to get more and more pressure on your computer, because it puts a lot of pressure on your machine to calculate all these relative journeys and do all the animations and all that. And I have to admit, I'm not really a big fan of personal transport, but there's not much we can do about it at the moment. I think that completes all the comments. If I remember anybody else, I will bring it up later on. It's going to be a bit of an update where we are. I've already shown you here on this steel plant. You can see it's very, very close. The problem's going to be getting the workforce in. We're still trying to build these connections here. They're nearly there. We're very close. But we've actually finished the coal mine. But again, there's going to be a staffing issue there. And you can see there's no power supply. So because I forgot, I don't think we've actually finished anything in this area. And I don't, so what I'm gambling on is that this, when this finishes, the coal mine might be in range of the power station. As a backup, what I've done is I put in a wind turbine there. I think I've seen, yeah, we put a small substation in here, but there's no point actually doing that until this is finished. So eventually the substation will come in and contribute that. We've also finished the coal processing yard here, but again, of course, there's no power. And of course, there's going to be no workforce. So workforce is going to be the absolute key to building up our population. You can see we finally broke 3,000, a population of 3,000, which is pretty good. And what we're going to have to do is just try and keep creeping forward. Now, generally, Titusville's just got the university to build. We do need to get this slaughterhouse running, but at the moment I'm kind of treating this as a little bit of a back. Actually, there's a bit of a gap there, so I think we're just going to add. So I'm drafting in New Hope workforce to kind of fill in any little gaps like that, so that the Titus workforce can come in this way. Now over here, yes, I know the loyalty's low because it's probably people just moving in. So what I've done here is I put a road through here, hopefully to speed up the process of getting the crops down into this area. The other thing I'm also working on is, if I show you this, not the bitumen plant, I think at the moment, the concrete plant here. what I've done is I've effectively shut this down. In fact, I'm going to shut it down completely now. And if I show you all related vehicles, I think the only vehicle that's currently delivering here is this vehicle here, which is trying to add coal to this area here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this dumper somewhere, I think, for the moment. Wow. We overlap these so I can see what I'm doing. Because what I've done is I've put these guys are now working from the concrete plant in Titusville. And what I want to do eventually is once this runs out, I think we're still using this as, actually let me just check the bulk supply guys. If I move those off as well, oh no, it's up here. Keep forgetting I put them in here in the grass. Yeah, so these guys are currently still picking up from here. But what I had done is I thought I'd turned off the, oh no, it's the moment they're still supplying the gravel, but what I've done is I've switched off the deliveries of bitumen. So what we can do now is we're just going to, actually I think I'll just leave this mothballed for the moment, just in case. No, I think we're going to just destroy it. So we're just going to demolish that, get rid of it. Because it's not that efficient. Because if I come over here, I know it's a lot further away, but if I show you I can find the concrete plant in here. See what this one is it's got the ability to store concrete, so it makes a bit more sense now to actually pick the concrete up from here. I thought I'd put these guys on pickup. So why is that not showing New Hope concrete? Oh, maybe these are just delivering. Okay. So that's the change I've made. So what we can do now is just keep working away. We're so close now. We just need a little bit of electronics. And then what we'll have to do is start bringing and start delivering coal to it, because we haven't quite finished this yet. We can finish these, although these will be dependent on the power from there. So what we'll probably have to do is deliver the coal from here. We'll have to start delivering coal into here directly. Once that is actually finished, it's just so close. But population's dropping again. I can almost guarantee you it's the lifespan. Nope. Getting a few escapees. It's probably down to low loyalty again. I'm hoping that if I can get a bit of momentum with the population, we might be able to get to a point where we can start to manage things a little bit better. Right, we've now got the power plant. What I'm going to do is add you there. And we want you to start delivering the coal. I mean, you can store 200 tons of coal, so I think we're going to set it to about 50% at the moment, and hopefully see what the range of this is. It still won't reach here, so we're going to need to build this. What was that? Right, we need to build this, start building this now. Come in here. I think we're assign New Hope to that. That might get things running a little bit better. but we need the workforce. But I don't think we've got any workforce over here, have we? No, so we don't have any workforce. I just need to check my ink. We're losing money because I'm importing steel at the moment to try and drive some of these processes together. Come on, game. Tempted to possibly move a few people from over here. I think what we might do is we'll just kind of try and move 20 or 30 people over to here. Because what I'd like to do is if we can fulfill all the jobs here that everyone's got there, we might get a few more workers coming out to here. We got one. We are getting this is what I feel I've got to do is we've got to get some workers into here. And if we can get this finished, I mean at the moment we don't have the connections anyway until this is finished and this is finished, and then eventually we'll have to push out this way, but there's no point at the moment till we get a big enough population here to try and keep things going. Nobody in here yet. Let me just see if we can. We got some workers here, but this is way too far. So we've got spare capacity here. I think all we can do is just keep trying to get more going on here and see how things go. Yes, I don't think production has even started here yet. I think we'll drop that down to maybe 20, see if that will help. It looks like we... Where are you going? I mean, I've blocked the workers there. I'm just wondering, these nearest houses, how close can you get? You're not even close, are you? I mean, you are in range, aren't you? Yeah. If we can improve the footpath here. And we got a footpath out here, see? So that's the only way in. I mean, I could possibly use a bus to send people. We could put them directly into there, but we'd need another bus to do that. Oh, look at that. We got our steam tractor. So at the moment we got a power station that people were not working. We just need to get this population up. So let me just follow this. We're going to follow this guy and see what happens. He's got one worker on it. I mean, are any workers actually getting as far as the... I'm just wondering if I change the routes. It's got to be something I can do. Got five workers there. I'm actually going to try and... We're going to edit the routes so that they actually deliver directly to the... Is that which platform? You've got 7 people waiting on it. I think if we remove that, stop there. Cancel that. We pick up everybody. We'll put educated people on it as well. I don't really want to do that, but I think that might be the only option. Okay, we'll see if that will improve the situation, because they don't have to go all the way up round there. They can just go straight into there. But we're getting a few people now. Right, we've got 14 workers. Come on. You can do it, guys. Okay, so we've now got power. It isn't going anywhere specific, because until we've got this built, I'm not feeding into this grid here. Although I think we've got, yeah, because the connection terminal is here. We need to build this now. Need 9.9 tons of steel. 2.7 there. At least we got them used to the idea now of actually doing that. I think what we're probably going to have to do is run the workers into the specific building. Yeah, I mean, let's have a look at the power. Because there's no real demand in this area at the moment. This doesn't spread, doesn't reach here. We need this built. We're just going to let the workers go there, because if they've got something to do, they might be a bit more inclined to stay. How much unemployment have we got in here? We've got unemployment. What I've done is I've stripped away too many workers from here. Unemployment, yeah, we got no unemployment here as well. See, this is the problem. We don't have any unemployment. I don't think, did I build a mayor's office here? Can't remember now. We just need to get over 3,000. Yeah. Yeah, because we got 16 due to no workplace, but where are they? That's one unemployed there. Got one there. Well, does that mean we've got 9 unemployed people there? Why are you unemployed? There's plenty of work up here. Go and do it. We've got this building finished. Got a couple of small what we call it's here, so we're here and send these guys over to fill in that bit and that bit. I think our expenditure and outcome is in equilibrium at the moment. We're losing about 2,000 a month. I think we're just gonna have to keep pushing the steel at the moment until we've got this built. What do you need? Probably acres of steel. Again, I think what we'll do is, if these guys aren't allocated, we'll put you onto this as well. No, you are allocated. Fortunate. There's no point trying to pick up workers from here. I'll put another monument here, and the off chance that we may be able to build that. I suppose while this is trundling through, I want to talk a little bit about the long-term strategy. What I'm thinking is that we've got a nice source of gravel here. So what I'm thinking in the long term is that if we can expand New Hope out, and and probably what I'll do eventually is scrap this, because what I would like to do over here, I mean, I'm putting a lot of faith in this area here, that we can build this up in a town to drive these industries, because what I'd like to hear is is expand this so that we get a brickwork. So if I show you the resource map, you see we don't have a lot of resources there. So we're going to have to kind of expand out this way to get access to the bigger mines. But what I'd like to do eventually is kind of close this kind of little industrial area down here. And we can then start to use this area to expand New Hope out. And then eventually you will run the gravel extraction industry here. I'm thinking of a rail network across the top of here. But the other thing I'm kind of thinking here is that if we can get the power into here, is we got a whole series of fields here, and it's quite a nice little slot. So what I would probably like to do is, in fact, we could probably put a road across the back here, and we're going to get a second collective farm up here. In fact, I think I will do it. We're going to pick a road up here. We're going to run roaches right across the back here like that. Did that take? No. Okay. Bit weird. Yeah. And we're going to accept that road there. This road crew have got absolutely nothing to do, or not that much to do. And what I want to do is start building that road across the back there. Just can't stay above 3,000, can we? Yeah, as I say, the only thing I can think of doing is just plugging away at. And if we can build this road here, then we can adjust this farm and actually change things. We've got fire. This is where. Oh, that fire crews are on. I do with plugging this little gap as well, because again, this is another potential problem. We're back to 29%. Again, with respect to loyalty, I just feel that when you've got a growing population, things don't work that much. So we got that there. We're getting coal in. Need to make sure. Right, these guys are kind of keeping the coal coming in from here. But what we really do need to do is get this online. So we do need to finish this. Right, we're now on the 28th of July. We're now starting to get harvested, which is good. But I think I changed a couple of these guys. I just need to check. Unload, unload. I thought you were dropping off at unload. That's one there. Let's check this one. Unload Titus there. Horse feeding station. Right, so that guy is good. Want to check these so that these are actually unloading. I was using these to ensure that all the crops. I think that's the one. That one. Which one's the other one? You're on unload. I think I only did the one. I just want to make sure that we can fill these up. Crops. I don't think I messed with this guy. We'll just check as well. Okay, we'll just put that there. Just feel I need to sort some of these distribution offices out to ensure that everybody is doing what they're meant to be doing. I think what we can do now, we got rid of the concrete plant here. Just sneak in a few pine trees here. And we'll just put all that area in there. I think this area is pretty dense enough as it is. This area is pretty good. want to check the fuel. Because we're kind of importing lots of... So we're kind of not... Again, I think part of the problem is staffing levels. See, it's just this whole problem that we can't... We need more people, is probably the honest way of saying that. And I think at the moment, all I can do... I mean, I know I could bring people in from the outside, but I just don't feel that that's going to succeed the problem. Plus, I want to keep this money in reserve just in case. So I think it's just going to be a question of slowly grinding through, which is in some ways, I suppose it's reflecting the painful process of the Russians trying to rebuild their economy after the devastation of the Civil War. Just have a look here. 35. I mean, we're kind of back to loyalty again. The loyalty is kind of holding up here. So we're kind of holding just over 30% in there. And the problem is here, we've got a new type of vehicle. That could be quite worth checking out. And as somebody pointed out, it's the health. See, the health here is pretty good. The problem is the winter health. Health here is still not good, but I don't understand why. The only thing I can think of is that we're just not getting the coverage here. So I think what happens is that the ambulances and that wander off in this direction. In fact, what are you guys building here? I've not actually even checked to see if you're actually building anything. I think what I might do is I'll get it to build a couple more ambulances if I can. Build 2 ambulances. We've got a tractor here. I don't think I actually need it, do I? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need combine there. Do we need any tractors? Let me just see. Here, a horse-drawn combine. So let me just check. Where's the other farm down here? I can find it. Where is it? Yeah, we've got tractors there. And it'd be nice to replace some of the road crew. We got a horse-drawn excavator there. I think this tractor actually can be... I mean, we could sell it, but I think I'd rather keep it at the moment for when we get our big collective farm up here. So we need to build that. Just wish this would finish. We've got that power line there that's coming out to here. Last chance to buy. Oh. We could lose a lot of our vehicles here now. That would be a little bit of a pain. So let's just have a quick look at the vehicle situation. So many things to think about. Somebody actually posted a comment and they were watching my 7 Crosses series in trying to learn the game. And I think that is a little bit there. I feel it cost me money, but I'd rather buy that now because we won't. I don't know when the next ambulance is going to turn up. So I think we're going to put you into there. So we got that should give us 5 ambulances operating out of this area. Anything else that we're going to lose? Ambulances, bulldozers. This is the. I think this is not new. So we're okay there. Buses. We don't have any more buses. The bus we were using to ship people to the power station expired in 1931. We're okay with concrete mixers. We're okay with covered holes. We've lost, looks like, our dry bulk carrier. The gas is okay. Excavators, were back to that. Wild trees, we're okay. We've lost the nice little fire truck that disappeared in 1931, but we got this gas AA model 1929. Harvesting, we're okay. We've lost the oil tank. Oh no, we've still got the gas oil tanker, but the same with the overhaul. So looks like the gas AAA models are probably going to be our main kind of driver going forward. We've still got this here, the NAM. We're okay there. Road cranes, where we don't have anything. Kind of been thinking about is that I'm not convinced that this steam bulldozer is going to help things very much. I do have an idea to possibly clear up the roads, but it's going to be a little bit cheeky, and I've got to try and remember where it actually is. I think it's actually it's one of Novu's kind of odd buildings. Can't remember where it is. What I'm going to do is I'll just take a look through and I'll be back when I actually find it. Okay guys, I've found it. It was kind of hiding from me. What you've got is this street sweeper. What you can do is drop him in like this. I'm going to give it a go. And what they do is that the people that go there actually sweep the local area, clearing the snow away, or that's the theory. But they only carry a very limited area. Hopefully that might clear it. There's a bit of a byproduct in the sense that they actually collect gravel. And we'll just come in here. Oh, you've already picked it up. What I will do is the same as I've been doing, is put these guys on. Try and provide a little bit of workforce to it as well. Let me just see. Workers. Yeah, my population is crashing again. Just can't. Yeah, deaths is rising. We get more escapees. So our workforce is dropping down here again. So we get over 3,000 and then it just drops down again. Loyalty is back to 29% again. Let's just check the loyalty. Yeah, 23, 24%. 32% here. 32%, 33% here again. So the loyalty is holding up here. It's just the changing population in this area. I don't think it's that great a loss at the moment because so we are getting some people in here, but we're going to get a pretty unstable power supply until we get this population up. We are getting a few people into here. It's just that we're not getting a benefit from it. Actually, let's just take a look at the orphanage. How many? Yes, we are getting children in here. We're getting a bit of an overflow, and I don't think there's much I can do about this because we're not getting there. So we've got an overflow here as well. I don't know how that's affecting these 12-year-olds. So what we got here? So they got very low loyalty, and we still got this very real possibility of a population crash, but there's absolutely nothing I can do about it as such. Yes, I know the loyalty is too low, game. We just need to keep going. I mean, I haven't allocated any of these accommodations for the moment. These take 50 workers. Building's got no power supply. Yeah, probably because the wind speed has dropped right down again. But once we've got this, then we'll have power support there. So it all hinges on this area here. We got the 9.9 tons here. We need workers to finish that construction, and we need workers there. We need workers big time. So all we can do is just keep chunkering away until we got this actually finished. I'm kind of running out of things to say, to be honest. So I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do is play on the best I can to see if we can get this section of power actually finished, and hopefully that will open up new possibilities. We should get possibly a stable power supply here, which might improve general conditions in this area. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.